got Constitution Avenue
We
up.
had two drivers coming down side by side. I jumped out there in front of them in the flag at the far end of this street. And I started walking. And when I got to the middle of here, I just stopped. Turned, went straight at the White House, cocked them off at an angle. We had over 100 drivers standing here in this street. We shut her down from both directions. They came from that way, shut her down, and we shut this bad boy down. We took our city. We're taking this city. We're going to take this city if we have to. We paid for this city. We paid for them guys to be in office. We voted those guys into office. We pay their salaries, and we want them to do something for us. For us. Not just sit up there and get rich off of taxpayer dollars. Do something that makes it safer for us out here on the highway. Give us common sense hours of service. Give us common sense training. Give us common sense transparency with the brokers. Give us just common sense. We're not asking for something spectacular. We're asking for common sense. Well, I guess that is spectacular because there ain't a person in politics that's got common sense.
Started in 7 days. 7 days they put this together. This is the largest gathering of trucks in Washington we've ever had. The largest gathering.
Back to the 80s.
Back to the 80s. If you look at the wages that the American truck driver makes today compared to what they made in the 70s and 80s, with no inflation, it's almost dollar for dollar. If you throw inflation in there, we should be making $100,000 a year plus as a company driver. The average company driver right now makes $40,000. That's how much money, how much less money we have been getting paid. When your parents were kids, the truck drivers' kids wore Levi's. They had new shoes. They had a nice car, nice pickup truck, nice house. Today, we live in trailers, we live in rundown houses, we live in we have old cars, and our kids wear hand-me-downs and Goodwill and Walmart. My kids don't even know what Levi's are. I can't afford them. I buy my jeans at Royal King for $12.99 a pair. And yet, we sacrifice everything we have to make this country move.
A lot of people don't realize this, but the little guy in this industry makes up the majority of it. Companies with 10 or less trucks actually make up 89.7% of the carriers out here on the road. So almost 90% of the industry is companies of 10 or less trucks.
Took advantage of all that situation.
Exactly.
Where
This has been
no
the
unity.
largest, strongest showing
Yes.
of unity within the trucking industry in 25 years.
We've had Europeans. When I say Europeans, we got Russians, we got Ukrainians, we have Polish. We even had Yugoslavian and Arabians that were here.
Egypt.
On the Spanish people,
Egyptians,
we had everybody here. We had the Americans, we had Indians. We had a lot of nations that came together.
Hispanics from all the different Hispanic countries.
Yeah, from all the countries. Everybody got united. Mexico, everywhere. Honduras, Nicaragua, everywhere. Even from here in America, everybody got united. And this is why they made them. We make this unity, and that's what they're scared of. That they never thought this was going to ever happen.
If they think that we are getting tired, not, we are happy. Look, my dog is happy. We got food, we got everything. Come on. I am telling you, we are just enjoying the time. Come on.
¿Dónde está el forro?
Many nationality, they are together. We attack together. We stand as one. That's good. I love that thing.
Vienen brincando, bro. Vienen brincando.
¡Lo tengo, loco! ¡Loco, lo tengo! No se lo va a coger nada.
Okay. Come on. Hey, boy. Right. He's doing an interview. He wanna do how we use the cooking. Look, my friend over here is cooking. He's one of the guys that have been for the first day, and also the lady over there, Mari. They are very, very supporting all truckers. Look, we are ready to stay many days as they want. We are not hungry. We got beds. We got everything. Everything. So we are enjoying. You see?
Well, I cook for all the guys here. I've been doing this for 14 days, doing breakfast, lunch and dinner, and snacks, and coffee every time they want it. So they haven't go hungry or nothing. They always go to bed to go to sleep with dinner and everything, and they have everything they want.
Thank you. Thank you. God bless you.
Bendiciones para todos los ciudadanos de Norteamérica y los del mundo entero. Necesitan bendiciones, necesitan mucho apoyo, como mismo lo necesitamos ahora nosotros. Estamos peleando por nosotros y por ustedes. Piénselo, si cada uno tiene un plato de comida hoy en su casa, es gracias a un camionero. Mis bendiciones para todos.
We got a saying down here. Bullshit walks and money talks. We don't have money. We're small business. We don't have money. We have families. We have to feed our families. We don't make huge profits. If I make $20,000 a year profit, a big mega carrier make the same profit as I do off my truck. If they made that off every truck, take Swift for example. They made $20,000 of profit off every truck a year. They got 20,000 trucks. Do the math. It's $400 million. I did it for you. We had shutdowns on last Friday on the 1st. Chicago, El Paso, LA. We had Mayday slow roll rallies all over the country. We had 300 trucks in Chicago. 300 trucks for a Mayday slow roll around Chicago. They screwed Chicago traffic up so damn bad on Friday. It was freaking awesome. Awesome. And they didn't shut down. They didn't close the road off. They didn't block traffic. They took one lane and they slow rolled around the city and back. 300 trucks. It was amazing.
White House called. They said that's it. Stop. They heard us. Stop. White House called. That's it. Stop.
White House calling us. Hey guys, can you stop? We will. Help us and we'll stop. Right? We need some action from White House. Not just words. Да, все, тишину создаем.
Vamos a continuar haciendo la bulla que tengamos que hacer hasta que salgan a escucharlo. Y para aclarar la situación con el presidente Trump, no estamos aquí para apoyarlo a usted, o estamos aquí para que usted nos apoye a nosotros. And I will say that
America. We are folks, sir.
Yep.
But we're not planning on leaving until we get answers from him to help us do what we got to do to make this country safer and to make it profitable, or make it so we can stand to live and survive and do our job and do our business. I have $5,000 in the bank, and that's 2 weeks of money. If I don't get out of here and get moving and make money, be profitable, I'll be out of business in 3 to 4 weeks. There's some guys here, when they leave here, they're already broke. This is their last ditch effort to try to survive. They're broke, they're out of money. When they leave here, they got to shut their business down. There's been a couple of guys that had to go home to turn their equipment in. One of the leaders of this whole thing that put this thing together had to go home and clean his equipment out so the bank could come and get his stuff. And he had a successful business. And he's got to clean his stuff out so the bank can come and take it, because he's foreclosed on. Taking his trucks, his trailers, his office, everything, gone. They're coming in and foreclosing on him. He left here to go home and do that. That's the passion that we have for the industry. We're willing to lose everything to make this industry go, to make this country go, to make sure that America gets what they want. Just like when you run out of blood, you die. When you run out of truckers, this country dies. We're not really striking, because there's still freight moving. We're more here protesting and asking for the help of the president. I mean, we just want the president's help in fixing this. We're American, middle class, blue collar, we're American people asking for the president to help. Like he said on Fox News, they're good people. They just want to be treated fairly, like the farmers. We're just like the farmers. We just want to be treated fairly. That's it. But we still climb into the truck every day to do our part to make sure that the American people have what they want and what they need and what they desire. And we fill that need. And we put our families through sacrifices. Every time I leave my house, 2 or 3 of my kids will cry because they know I won't be home for a week. But yet I still do it. I do this for what the industry is. But what I do to my family, I'm a selfish person. Because I leave them. But it's to put food on their table. Sorry. If one of them doesn't see me honk the horn, they cry for 5-10 minutes after I leave. It's a hard thing. Everybody thinks that wives and kids cry. The drivers cry when they leave. They really do. There's a lot of drivers that have to pull off the side of the road and get themselves together before they can continue on because of the sacrifices we make our families do so we can fulfill the American dream for ourselves and produce the products and get the products to where the American people want. We give our heart and soul to the American people, and all we want to be is treated fairly. That's all we want to be is treated fairly because we put our heart and soul into it. We're fathers, we're mothers, we're grandfathers, we're grandmothers, and we're children. We have parents and kids. And we do this. We sacrifice so much. And up until this pandemic, nobody knew who we were. We'll know when the pandemic's over as drivers. We'll absolutely know. And you know how we'll know? Because we'll be going down the road and somebody will flip us the bird because we're in their way. I haven't been flipped off in 2 months. I'll know when this pandemic's over, when I get flipped off again. That's when I'll know that I'm no longer needed and no longer respected and no longer feel like an essential worker. That's when I know that this country is running again, when I get flipped off.
What happened before we got in this protest, the coronavirus shut down every state, all the world. But the truck driver didn't stop. I myself, I worked. My company told me to stop working because it's dangerous. You might get the coronavirus because you are old, 65 and older, and all of this. But I did not stop because when I see to Walmart to buy food for my family, I see the shelves was off. It was nothing. Then who's gonna support and supply those stores? I went to my truck, I started, and I've been on the road again to make moving of the goods for the stores and for American people.
And just on behalf of the president, say that not only have we heard your plea, but we're looking to see what we can do to make sure that your industry is protected. He knows that the trucking industry has been with him from day one. And we also noticed the other day where there was some honking going on, and then when he went to speak, you stopped the honking, and then it started back up, and he appreciated that, and I wanted to make sure that I let you know that. Here's one of the things, obviously this broker issue is a much more difficult issue to address, but he's given me the task to look at it and see what I can do.
Awesome.
But in the meantime, I know a lot of you have been talking about hours of operation and making sure that you get a little bit of relief there.
Yep.
And I think what you'll see is within the next day or so that you'll actually get some relief on that particular regulation. The president's key on making sure that we roll back regulations so that not only you're able to do your job, but you're able to do it safely, but also one where you can provide for your families. So I just wanted to come in and say thank you from the bottom of my heart, but more importantly, out of great gratitude for the President of the United States. A lot of times we don't understand that everything that we eat, everything that we consume, and everything that we have ends up on one of your trucks going somewhere to somebody so that they can purchase it. So I just wanted to say thank you and come in and say God bless you. Thank you for
price gouging.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Appreciate it. So what we're looking at is trying to make sure the free markets work, and yet over regulations and price gouging doesn't happen. And so actually Derek's here with me. He's the staff secretary for the president. He's the one that prepares the documents. But mainly I wanted you to have a personal message from the President of the United States that he doesn't take his trucking friends for granted. All right? God bless America.
Thank you.
God bless America. All right.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Guys,
I got the one question.
So at this point,
One question, please.
Okay. Yeah,
I'm Greg Anderson. I
From where?
represent Yukon, Oklahoma.
Okay.
We have a small fleet. I represent a united coalition of many organizations.
Right.
The question I have for you,
Yeah.
this is all good.
Yep.
You've agreed to work with a dear friend of mine as a great guy. What we need from you is to get this guy a seat at the table to help us write rules and regulations to make our industry better.
that's what we want.
Yeah.
That is what all of us want.
Okay.
We want a truck driver on that board. That's the man we want.
Okay. So in terms of input, I can assure you I can get him to give us input. Now, I don't think you want him to work for the federal government where he's actually writing the rules and regulations. You want to work
both
for
for mice.
Why not? So,
If it would help.
I'll do what I have to do to
so here's
fix
what
the
we're
industry.
So I'll make you a deal. I'll stop you right there. I'll make you a deal. So y'all all like Mike.
Yeah.
You
need the job. No, give him a job.
Behind the wheel.
Here's what I will do. Let me give you my personal email. And so you will be able to communicate what everybody else here is a priority. You can communicate it directly to me. I just left the Oval Office where I told the president I was coming down to say hello to all of you and give you a personal message from him. You will have my personal email. You send it. Just don't put it out there for the millions of people to have, because I'll have to change it. And I will give that to you. And if you will correspond with me, I will follow up. How's that?
Myself and CJ had a meeting in the White House with the Chief of Staff, Mark Meadows, the fellow that writes the executive orders for the president, and Jim Mullins, which is the acting administrator for FMCSA. The meeting went very well. We were asked a lot of tough questions. They tried to rebut a lot of things or discredit what we had to say in ways, but we have the truth with the experience of this industry to back up what we were saying, and I believe it went very well with the reactions and things that were said in there by the Chief of Staff. A lot of the big thing for this particular demonstration here has been about the brokers and the transparency issues and the antitrust laws and such, and we were able to prove in there that they do in fact create private contracts to circumvent federal rules, and the administrator from the FMCSA had to admit that they know about it and that there is rules against that. The double and co-brokering deal, they had to admit to that too, so that was very positive. For me, it's been a very surreal experience the last few years to go from just a guy from Amish country, Pennsylvania that owns a truck to getting involved just because it affected me personally, and I wanted to try and do the right thing because I realized that we didn't really have anyone standing up for us out here. Organizations like OIDA and stuff were not doing what they claimed to have done. And I realized that because this is the third protest type thing with trucks down here in D.C. I've been at since 2017. And just like this one here, they didn't show up. They didn't support us, even though they're supposed to support independent drivers. So me and a few other people met through doing that and started an organization, the United States Transportation Alliance. And I feel that a higher power chose me to be here. I don't do this to try and get any recognition or anything like that. Someone else can take that. I just want to try and do the right thing. So for me, I don't know. It is crazy to think about. I don't know that it's really sank in yet, but I'm just happy I could be here. And if it wasn't for everyone else showing up here this time and years prior and events prior and stuff like that, we may not be here. And to be pushed out in front of Chief of Staff Meadows the other day and be chosen to kind of speak for everyone, that made me feel really good. It made me feel like I've been doing the right thing, saying the right thing, and presenting everything in the right way, or myself in the right way. And that felt good to me, and I'm glad I could be here to do what needed to be done. Well, all I can say is everybody as an American needs to learn to stand up and understand the morals, and the ethics, and the rights and the abilities we have to exercise those rights in this country. And don't let yourself get pushed out by government. Don't let yourself get pushed out by corporate America. The American dream is middle class and small business. And when we need to come together like this, everybody needs to stand up and come together, because together we can achieve great things and keep this country great.